Well, hey guys, what's up? Eddie Yahoo here with KissAnalog.com. You guys, I want to talk about SPICE tonight, okay, and why you use it, and when you should use it, when you shouldn't, okay, or just how to use it, okay, when it comes in best. All right, hold on just a sec. Now, I was given a gift, so I got to show you guys something, okay? All right, what do you think? Oh, well, actually, oh man, this isn't the one I wanted. This one's kind of expired. This, yeah, it's left past its shelf life, I think. Hold on a sec. I got to show you something, though. I got this seminar. You can see the date and all that stuff. Look at all those cities that they went to. So, yeah, these guys, they once tried to, really support him. And he came out with a great product. But you know what? There's a better one out now. Hold on a sec. Ah, that feels better. That just fits better, feels better. I think it is better. Yeah, new and approved, right? Simple, but new and approved. All right, let's talk about QSPICE, or SPICE in general, all right? What do you think? I like this shirt. Guess what, guys? You can get one if you want one. So I'm going to tell you how, all right? Hold on just a sec. All right, I think that feels better. How's that look? Pretty cool, right? I like it. All right, guys, let me tell you. I'm going to tell you how you get one of these shirts in just a moment. All right? Now, here's the thing. Tech Talk Friday. We're kind of mixing up a QSPICE with Tech Talk Friday because I kind of just want to talk about SPICE in general and why you'd use it. There's some people that just don't. And then there's others that rely on it maybe too much. So there's a thing where you want a good balance. I love doing SPICE because now I'll tell you something. Once you've had experience designing, building circuits, testing, all that stuff, it will help you with your SPICE. And your SPICE can help you speed that process up too, because you can simulate a lot of different values. You can look at different parts of the circuit and you can get a feel for things, which I feel like will help speed along that other process of getting the experience in the lab, okay? So it's all about correlating lab work with analysis. You can do math, you can do all these things. One thing you want to remember when you're doing all these things, even in the lab when you're testing, you want to have intuition. You want to think about what you should be seeing versus what you are seeing and see if it makes sense. Sometimes I'm thinking so much about the video doing stuff that honestly I make mistakes that I don't think about what I'm looking at, and then I realize later I'm like, oh man, I muffed that up. So yeah, so sometimes you're busy thinking about other things than what you're actually working on. So that's the other part, right? I guess if you're not doing videos on that, it's a little bit easier to just focus on your job. Well, there could be things going on at home, that kind of thing. Anyway, so yeah, focus on what you're doing. Don't just say, okay, I do this setup, I connect these things, I take these measurements, give them to the engineer I'm working with, or if you are the engineer, I'm going to put this in my report, pass it on, and everything's good. Even if you've done it a bunch of times, think about what you're doing, because yeah, you could be making mistakes, or you might not be thinking about things you could do to improve what you're doing, your process. So your workflow, people like to call these days, right? So here's the thing, guys. When you simulate things and then you go in the lab and you don't see a correlation, then it might be your simulation, or it might be what you're testing. So figure that out. Once you're pretty sure that what you're testing, you're seeing maybe a ripple on something that you didn't see, and your setup is correct and all that kind of stuff, then go look at your simulation and put in some of those parasitics. Maybe add some inductance and capacitance if, depending on how long your leads are. Maybe you have really long leads on the thing you're testing. You can't do anything about it. So you have to add maybe the inductance of those leads, the resistance of that wire, something like that. So yeah, there's things you have to do. There's a guy that, I was a VP of a little small company at one time, VP of engineering, a little small group, right? And one young guy, he was a go-getter, and he was simulating something, and it looked great. So he built the circuit, you know, had the boards built, so it was actually PCBs, surface mount components, and it was a switching power supply. It was switching really fast, up in the megahertz, which is super fast. And he was seeing some ripple he did not see in his simulations. We looked at his simulation, and he was actually using, not to beat on him, but LT-SPICE. So we got him a different thing, beige bag. It's another simulation. The SPICE model is lower cost than, say, microcap or something. And then he saw it. And I think what it was the model of the diode that he had in his original simulation model that wasn't modeling the inductance of the leads. And I think that's what it came down to. But it just turned out that the beige bag software he had the actual diodes that he was simulating. I think that's what made the difference. He could have brought that into his LT-SPICE, but you know, I was using the beige bag. It was because it was inexpensive, is what the company could afford, and so I kind of switched between LT-SPICE, beige bag at that time, and I think I was using electronic workbench for some other things, just depending on the circuit I was doing and what models. And anyway, but so we just got him the same software I had, but long story short, it was the diode just wasn't modeled correctly, so it showed no inductance in the leads. And it actually, his model showed no inductance, and the diode he had some inductance. The answer was to try to get less inductance in the leads of the diode. So he went to a different surface mount package that actually had the leads on the bottom of the frame of the surface mount package versus coming from the top, coming around. Just that extra little lead length made a difference at his high frequency. Now, that's one reason I don't switch to those high frequencies, because parasitics become a big issue. And, you know, he was excited and he wanted to do something fast. It was kind of bragging rights more than anything, because you can get the same efficiency and everything, and these kind of circuits that he was working on doing less. So anyway, that's just one example of sometimes the simulation not working out like the actual circuit, and you kind of go back and forth and you wonder which one's out of whack. So some people just ignore the simulations, but they spend a lot more time in the lab, and I call them lab engineers, because they just sit there and pluck in different values and they see which way it goes, and then they narrow their direction down into a thing. And yeah, they're lab engineers. They don't do a lot of analysis. And then there's the guys that just overanalyze everything, and then they go to lab, it doesn't work, and they can't figure it out because they don't have enough experience in the lab. So you get both sides of that coin. I feel like I do a fair amount of simulation analysis, more than I do lab work, because I've been doing it so long that once I really feel confident, knock on wood, that once I go lab, I don't need to, because it's going to work. And it typically does. So, I mean, that just comes with experience, okay? Now, if I'm doing a new circuit, you know, I spend a little bit more time with the new circuit to make sure things right. But anyway, so that's the thing. I think it's a great idea to do simulations. And the one thing about QSPICE is that the company Qorvo, okay, they make discrete parts, meaning the nuts and bolts, the transistors, okay, where, like, let's say LT worked on the bigger parts, the op amps, the controllers, the thing with a whole bunch of transistors inside them, but they don't really design transistors, right? But Qorvo, they do. So now the modeling and stuff, and after all the 20 years or so of experience, that's why we're just not cooking with LT-SPICE. Now it's a see all, know all. So I love that. That's awesome. That comes with experience, time, you know, you learn. So yeah, use SPICE. Okay, here's the thing, guys. I'm going to start throwing out circuits and different things that little competitions, and let me get some feedback from you guys, because the thing is when I did this before and I gave away some multimeters for people who gave me a Wolverine amplifier with Qorvo with QSPICE, there's only a few people that entered, and so there might have been 4 or 5 actually, and I ended up giving a meter to every one of them, even though I was only going to give out, I think if originally I announced 1 or 2 or something, I forget. Anyway, I gave them to everybody since there's not that many. So now what we have is t-shirts, okay? So I'm going to do these little competitions, right? And there's a Wolverine amplifier. I'm going to, anybody that wants to join this, ask me for the Wolverine, be a subscriber, right? Ask for the Wolverine schematic and go in there and make sure it has the right transistors to what's in the actual Wolverine schematic. I don't think the transistors right now are the correct transistors. Now, you can watch the interview that I did with Mike Englehart, and he goes through that schematic, and he did an awesome job. I mean, come on, the guy's a wizard. I mean, first of all, he, took a genius to write the software, so he's a wizard with circuits too. So anyway, look at what he's done there, and then put all the correct transistors in, okay? So whoever sends me a schematic with all the correct parts, I mean, I'm not really talking about resistors, capacitors, all that kind of stuff, but I think they're already there. But I'm talking about like the diodes and transistors, okay? So just look at the parts list. I have the parts list if you need it, and I have the schematic in QSPICE. So if you need the QSPICE schematic, I think if you go to, I'm not sure if I have the link there. I probably don't. So just send me an email, okay? It's eddieaho@kissanalog.com. So send me an email and win yourself a shirt. Now, if you're in Portugal, if you're some other country, don't worry about it. Our friends at QSPICE, Qorvo, they're going to send out these t-shirts, okay? So whoever sends me that schematic first with the right parts, and the schematic actually runs when I hit the simulation button, it actually runs. It doesn't come up with some error that's in one of the models. So anyway, and you guys, the thing is there probably won't be very many people entering this thing. So, so anyway, go ahead and try it. And then whoever sends in the first one that actually works, I'll give the name to Qorvo, and they're going to send that person out a t-shirt. So, and they're nice t-shirts, guys. They fit nice. This is a large. I'm a big guy. I'm 210, 13 pounds, something like that. 6 foot. So, yeah. That's what large looks like. Got stuck in my gut, right? All right, guys. Hey, thanks for watching. Good luck on the video. And cool shirt, right? What do you guys think? I like it. Give me your comments, okay? And give me your comments about the ideas of giving away shirts. And also, let's see, we got to talk about how often I do a video on QSPICE. I'm doing these Tech Talk Fridays, and this one's late because it's Mother's Day weekend. I had 2 meals I went to today. I was expecting and then last night was busy, and so anyway, sorry. Sometimes these videos might come in a little late. I'm going to work harder at getting them on time. But then, and I'll do the QSPICE videos separately, the tutorials. I want to start getting these tutorials out where we do some little competitions, maybe easier ones than this Wolverine one. Different things that support the tool that help, because these models, these transistors and diodes, it'll help other people, with building circuits and stuff, and it'll just add to the library of parts. And the other thing is, it's just kind of fun, and we'll have a Wolverine schematic that, I think Mike's already got it in there working really well. So, yeah, might not need much work, guys. I'd watch the video first, or send me an email first. I'll send you the stuff. Watch that video so you'll know where it is at this point. This schematic came from Mike Englehart, so it's got, I believe it has all his latest. So yeah, watch that video, okay? I'll put the link to that video down below too. And two big thumbs up to Corval for sending out these shirts and allowing this competition to go on, and we'll see how long this works out. But yeah, they say they'll send t-shirts to anybody around the world, so we'll see. Maybe there's places where they can't ship, I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, don't hold our feet to the fire on that, but I think we're going to try the best to send out shirt to anybody who's a winner. Okay, and let me know if I should do a 1 a week tutorial. That might be a lot. So maybe one every 2 weeks, once a month. How often, guys? Something I can do, because I also have audio videos I'm going to do. Probably some microcap simulation ones too. So I don't know. Let me know. I think we ought to be all switching over to QSPICE, learning that instead of trying to learn LT. So let me know what you guys think. But I got power supply designs. I got a design which I got to update you guys on. I'm looking for a PCB board house to get these boards made, and so anyway, I've been working on that, and we'll catch up on those videos too. So lots of stuff going on, and yeah. So all right, so let me know what you guys think. Okay, hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.